Good evening, I'm Lindsay Buckingham and welcome to a very special holiday edition of Heartstrings. The holidays have a way of bringing out the best in us and sometimes the hardest moments too. Tonight, we bring you both stories that capture people facing unimaginable challenges and found the strength they didn't know existed. You'll meet George, the dog man of Rocky River, whose daily walks have touched an entire community, and the family of Officer Jameson Ritter, navigating their first Christmas without their hero son. You'll also meet Nicole, a young mother who refused to let Parkinson's steal her life, and 6-year-old John Henry, who's announcing his new heart, brought smiles to millions. Hope, inspiration, and the power of love, coming up right now on Heartstrings. Our first story takes us to Rocky River, where every morning George Kokar takes his daily walk. But it's not the kind of walk you're thinking of, because along his route, dozens of dogs are waiting for him, earning his nickname, the Dog Man.
Just past the border of Bay Village and Rocky River, you'll find 74-year-old George Kokar stopping for his morning boost. A routine carried out every single morning, rain or shine, 365 days a year.
5 miles.
5 miles for his health, happiness, but mostly
Hi, Toby.
for the dogs.
How you doing today, baby? I started doing this route around 2004, but the dog race didn't come until much later. Yeah, I'm glad I saw you. Around 2010, that's when I started playing with some of the dogs, Rosie and Pepper.
Over the years, some
Hi, Rosie. Hi, Pepper. How you doing?
turned into an army
Usually average around 20, 25, sometimes up to 40.
of loyal neighborhood friends who try to wait patiently.
Oh, you want a treat?
He knows all their names.
Hey, Yogi. How you doing, buddy? Come on. How's Happy doing? How's Happy?
And their stories, too.
Hi, Sally boy. Here you go, buddy. Sally just turned blind in June. He went blind, I don't know why, but he can't see too well.
Yet, he knows when George is there.
Oops. Sally boy, here. Wait, one more. All right, boo-boo. I'll see you, Jew.
Along his route, some dogs stand at attention,
Good girl, Lulu.
while others just need it.
I'm coming, Ripley. I'm coming. Yes. So excited. I know what's going on here. Yeah.
Around here, George Kokar is a celebrity.
The dog man?
Yep.
The famous George. Wow, well, he is famous around here.
You have no idea how many admirers this man has.
Jackie.
George is very friendly, and I know from experience with Jake here in George that he loves Jake and Jake loves him.
An animal lover all his life,
One time we used to have 10 cats and a dog.
and a family man, a wife and 2 daughters. He's also an accomplished artist
18 years for American Greetings.
who spent time as a freelance illustrator for The Plain Dealer and top magazines. These days, you'll find hundreds of paintings on his Facebook page,
Well, I do a daily dog, daily cat.
some of which have deep meaning.
So this was the first painting that George did for us. And this is Noelle. It was a Christmas gift.
Stacy Reed's dog, Noelle, was enamored with George.
The love that she had for George was so deep, and you could see it every time she would look into his eyes. And I have pictures, thank God, for the memory. But they were just 2 peas in a pod and loved each other very much.
When it was Noelle's time to cross the Rainbow Bridge,
He came with us to the vet to say goodbye.
And that was so heartbreaking.
And he literally is, part of our family and will be forever.
it's bittersweet, the love he feels for them and the pain that comes with it. In the end, he'd still pick the simple joys
Hey, Millie.
every morning on his walk of kindness for the dogs.
Good girl. I enjoy it, and I know the dogs enjoy it, and it just makes me happy.
Well, after we shared George's story back in 2023, it went viral. People magazine even called him for an interview. Today, he's still out there every single morning, bringing treats to his furry friends. Well, for some families, the holidays can bring a mix of joy and heartbreak. Last December, that's what John and Karen Ritter were experiencing as they prepared for their first Christmas without their son Jameson, a Cleveland police officer killed in the line of duty just months earlier. Now they're working to keep his remarkable legacy alive.
Even on the rainiest of days, the town of Webster, New York has character. Most of the cars on Main Street are either headed to their families or their purpose. Jameson Ritter learned early on what his was: loving and helping others, a soccer player and standout swimmer in high school. Yet with scholarships on the table, he chose to serve his country instead.
Good boy. Bandit, come on. Good boy, come on over here.
These are Jameson's dogs, Otis and Bandit. After he died, his parents took them in.
Come on. That's a boy.
They have an acre to run around and play, a life somewhere between heaven
One more. I'm not gonna go far.
and heartbreak.
Bandit, he just runs aimlessly.
The house feels empty without their dad.
It was a bond right from the beginning.
It's a few days before Christmas. John and Karen Ritter's home is decorated for the holidays and for their son.
No matter how many days go by, how many hours, the pain is always as if the news was in the moment. When you lose a child, it's deep and it's painful every day of your life.
Every day is a struggle. I think of him every day. I think of the incident every day. I think of how it happened.
And while they have so much to be thankful for, a granddaughter who carries her uncle's legacy in her middle name, it also serves as a searing realization.
It's hard because he doesn't get to meet her.
Angelica Ritter was excited for her brother to move home. Plans were in motion. The two have always been thick as thieves.
People used to call us twins. We did a lot of things together.
She's angry that at just 27 years old, her brother's future was ripped away.
You know, I sit in the car and I think, I was supposed to have 50 more years with my brother. Watch him get married. Watch him have kids. I was at a wedding, watch him do a mother-son dance. And then it breaks my heart that my mother will never get that.
The family has been shown support from all over the country, billboards in Cleveland and candlelight vigils in their hometown.
Our goal in keeping Jameson's memory alive is to also have people realize what police officers do every day. All we see is the bad. You don't see the good.
Yet Jameson's family keeps hearing of his, even months after his passing.
I got a Facebook message from a woman who I think may have been homeless at the time, and she has a dog.
Sweet Pea.
Sweet Pea. She went on to say how Jameson went and bought her dog a bag of dog food and then took her to McDonald's and got her dinner.
Jameson's acts of kindness and service were to continue here at home.
Wow. Here's this right over here.
He had registered for the police academy in Rochester, but he never got to take his seat. Now, his empty chair a symbol of his heroism, just a few feet away from his dad's own legacy of saving others.
I was involved in an incident on December 24th, 2012, in which a police officer and a fireman were shot and killed by an active shooter.
So were you shot? You just survived.
I forgot about that part.
Sadly, they'll never forget how their son died.
It's sad. I mean, this whole situation's sad. The thing a lot of people don't know, that we know, is this probably never should have happened.
While nothing can fill the void, his family finds comfort knowing his spirit will live on through a foundation in his honor.
The Jameson Ritter Foundation, which is a foundation to try to give an award, a $10,000 award to a student with Jameson's desires, first responder or military career choice.
Giving back. Around here, it's the Ritter way. Now, all this family can do is work to make sure Jameson's life brings more attention to officer safety and appreciation for their sacrifice.
Jameson didn't care about rank. Jameson cared about right and wrong. He genuinely cared. Nothing was, I think, for accolades, as we know how humble he was. It was all because he was truly just one of a kind, cream of the crop. I'll say that over and over again.
In May, Jameson's hometown of Webster, New York, dedicated the Jameson Ritter Memorial Lodge in his name. And coming up next, how a groundbreaking surgery gave a young mom back the moments she feared were gone forever. We'll be right back. Well, imagine being a young mother and not being able to braid your daughter's hair or even tie your own shoes. That was Nicole LeBeau's reality when she was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease at just 28 years old. But thanks to a groundbreaking surgery at Cleveland Clinic, she got her life back, doing all the things she thought she'd never do again.
It takes effort to run a 13-acre farm.
You're pretty clean now, huh, Macy?
But 39-year-old Nicole LeBeau makes it look easy.
She braided it's made nice for you.
She loves this life and the people in it. Beloved husband Travis and their 2 daughters. Their horses, dogs, chickens, and kittens, too.
And there's always baby something around here.
There's so much love and gratitude here, you may be shocked to learn that just a year and a half ago,
I didn't have motor skills. I got to a point where if I struggled to cook dinner, by the time I was done, I couldn't eat it because my tremor was so bad.
That's because when Nicole was just 28 years old, she was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease.
I never quit moving, so it was just exhausting to exist.
Her girls had beautiful hair, but she couldn't braid it. She relied on family to help.
My husband especially.
Whose dirt bike accident at 19 left him with a paralyzed arm. Still, they pulled together as a team.
So it took both of us to change that newborn's diaper.
Yet as a loving young mom, all Nicole wanted to do was do it herself.
They needed me, you know. It wasn't fair to them.
2 years ago, a breakthrough. Deep brain stimulation, a surgery where 2 electrodes are placed on each side of the brain to manage symptoms of Parkinson's. Nicole decided it was time and made the 2.5-hour drive to the Cleveland Clinic.
God lined everything up for me perfect. I had the best surgeon, I had great nurses, I had the best anesthesiologist.
And the best DBS programmer.
Better?
Better.
Nurse practitioner Shannon Schaefer.
I very vividly remember asking, what do you want to be able to do? If we can give you some of your ability back, like what are your goals? She said, I just want to be normal and I want to be able to braid my daughter's hair and help them tie their shoes and be a mom.
In December of 2022, she was on her way.
When I woke up from my surgeries and stuff, I wasn't moving. And it was the first time in years that I did not shake, twitch, wiggle, or move. And it was just so amazing.
Suddenly, all that Nicole had lost as a mom came back.
And my kids called me New Mommy 2.0, you know, they're so excited for me.
And so is Shannon, for whom Nicole is forever grateful.
That makes me emotional because I saw myself in her and I tried to feel what it would feel like because we're the same age and have kids the same age.
He's such a cutie, he's a cutie.
There's nothing better than going to work and knowing that you can do that for people.
Oh, it's amazing compared to what she had to go through before. Yeah, I mean, it's completely life-changing.
Do you have moments, Nicole, where you just take a moment and say, I cannot believe how much my life has changed?
Every day. Good boy.
Every new day on the farm is a gift filled with acts of love that for years felt out of reach. She loves this life and the people in it.
Have faith. The Lord has a plan for you. You may not like the journey, but that's your journey. And it'll work out the way it's supposed to.
Well, up next, the call a 6-year-old boy had been waiting for brings joy to his medical team and goes viral around the world. We'll be right back. Well, some of the volunteers packing toys during the holiday season at the Salvation Army have deeply personal reasons for the mission.
Take one look at the Salvation Army warehouse in Euclid, and you'll find yourself in the middle of something special. It's called Santa's Toy Shop, where dozens of volunteers sort, prepare, and pack gifts for deserving children. The energy here is joyful.
The real reason that we are here is we want to spread joy to the community.
The mission is urgent.
In Cuyahoga County in the city of Cleveland, we're actually seeing a 50% increase. We're up from 4,000 kids to over 6,300 kids who the Salvation Army is serving. Without something like this, many of these kids just wouldn't have anything under the tree this year.
Yes, I'm ready, yep. There's one volunteer here who truly understands that reality. This is Captain Zuhei Barton. She leads the Salvation Army in East Cleveland.
This is very near and dear to my heart, for sure.
Because her connection to the mission began as a little girl who moved here from Puerto Rico.
My mother came to the U.S. in search of a better life, and she was very sick. She couldn't work because of her sickness, ultimately leading her to go to the Salvation Army for assistance during the holiday season. I will never forget one year when I walked in, and well, my mom walked in and she took me with her, and she came out with a bike for me. And I had never had a bike before in Puerto Rico, so it was so exciting.
That moment would shape the rest of her life.
I will never forget, I was in the kitchen, 11 years old, and I told my mom that when I grew up, this was what I wanted to do.
Today, Zuhei is bringing that same joy she felt as a child to families who need it most.
It means the world. I don't want to cry, but it does mean the world to me.
Well, 6-year-old John Henry spent months waiting for a new heart. Without it, he wouldn't survive. Then one day, he got the call, and his joyful reaction touched people across the world.
John Henry Lee is a boy who knows exactly what he wants.
I'm gonna go get my bike.
At just 6 years old.
Here, you wanna play with your bubbles?
No, I'm getting my bike.
His natural enthusiasm
Bike.
inspires everyone around him to join the fun.
Are you gonna drive in reverse?
Yeah.
He never wastes a moment exploring every path because he knows how quickly
Bumpy road.
it can change shape.
This bumpy road.
When I was pregnant with John Henry, we knew that he had hypoplastic left heart. We knew he would need open heart surgeries at a very young age.
After his third one, there were complications.
He started to have some circulation issues.
Then in December 2023, things got worse.
Went in for a viral illness. Typical runny nose, cough. And then Dr. Amdani came in and he goes, well, we're keeping him. I said, okay, thinking just overnight. He goes, no, until he gets a new heart.
John Henry was admitted to Cleveland Clinic Children's. His mom, Sarah, remembers the tough questions during their stay.
He would ask if another kid got a heart transplant, am I not sick enough? Am I not good enough to get a heart?
And with each passing month, John Henry got sicker.
He's getting weaker, you know, his endurance is dwindling away.
Then, 6 months later,
they're like, we found his heart. And I instantly broke down in the middle of the hallway.
The best news they could ever receive.
I went in the room when we told him, and it's amazing because you get just as excited as they do about it because you know this is what they've been waiting for. And then it was like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is my new heart, and I've got to tell everybody.
And he did.
I'm getting a new heart!
One by one, telling the beloved healthcare heroes who had been rooting for him all along.
Phyllis, I'm getting a new heart. What? Oh my God.
He is the best kid. He's literally John Henry strong.
The surgery went well. Still, there were a few bumps in the road.
His body was used to half of circulation, so his whole body had to adjust.
But remember, John Henry knows what he wants, and what he wanted
I'm back, guys.
was to be a healthy little boy again.
Why are you so happy you got a new heart?
Because I get to run and play.
At home,
Do you like this?
he's been making up for lost time.
You talk.
Oh, I'm so proud of John Henry. You know, he is a joy. He is energetic. He is hilarious.
And he's grateful
Get in! Get in!
for each new path he gets to explore, for every laugh, for every deep breath.
Let's go!
And for Mom, there are no words to say thank you to all who gave John Henry a second chance.
When you're there for so long, they're your sisters. The nurses become your sisters. The doctors become your brothers. I'm just so grateful that his donor family made the sacrifice and allowed them for John Henry to continue his life through their child's life.
Well, today, John Henry is thriving. He's back in school full time, and he recently got to visit Disney World with his family. Thank you so much for joining us to celebrate stories of hope, love, and resilience. If you have an inspiring story you'd like to share, just email heartstrings@wkyc.com. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a Merry Christmas.